Am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my dad's pregnant girlfriend, or maybe wife? This whole thing has left me with a pit in my stomach, and I honestly can't tell if I did the right thing or just made a bad situation worse. I'm a 17-year-old guy. I live full-time with my mom, and honestly, that's always been the case. My dad was never really in the picture. He was one of those holiday dads, someone who'd maybe pop in once or twice a year, not because he genuinely wanted to see me, but more because it looked good or was convenient. And even then, he didn't spend that time with me. Most of those visits happened because of my grandparents, his parents, who actually did care and made sure to include me in family events. Unfortunately, they passed away a couple of years ago, and after they were gone, my dad basically vanished too. Radio silence for a long while. And honestly, I didn't miss him all that much. I'd gotten used to not having him around. He just wasn't present. Not emotionally, not physically, not in any meaningful way. Then, out of nowhere, he starts reaching out again, this time bringing along his girlfriend and her two younger kids. The first time I saw them, it was a weekend visit. I didn't even know she existed until he showed up with her. The second time was just a single day. Both times, it was clear they were trying to blend into a picture-perfect family unit, and I was supposed to just play along. Smile, make small talk with her kids, pretend everything was normal. But I couldn't. It felt wrong.
Fake.
So I told him, pretty directly, that I wasn't interested in this setup. I didn't want to keep playing this game where he pretended to be a dad a few days a year. And, to my surprise, he didn't argue. In fact, he seemed relieved. Like he'd been looking for an out, and I just handed it to him. That was 8 or 9 months ago. I thought it was done. It wasn't. His girlfriend wouldn't let it go. We live in a small town, so running into each other wasn't unheard of. But what she started doing was more than casual encounters. She would make a point to cross the street, walk across a store, or even wait outside places she knew I'd be just to talk to me. She'd act all cheerful and friendly, asking if I wanted to hang out with her and her kids. Kids who, I want to emphasize, are way younger than me. I kept politely declining. At first. Eventually, I told her, respectfully but firmly, that I didn't want contact with my dad anymore, and because of that, there wasn't really any reason for us to talk either. She said something like, "But now that we're around, maybe you'll give the family another chance." I told her my mind was made up. She kept coming. Even when I was polite, even when I was blunt. It didn't matter. Then she started bothering my mom. And my mom, who's had to play both roles my entire life and is not someone to mess with when it comes to protecting me, had enough after a few encounters. She warned her flat out. "Stay away from both of us, or we will get the cops and lawyers involved." You'd think that would be the end of it. You'd be wrong. She started showing up at her house. I don't know how she rationalized it. Once she came to announce she was pregnant. Another time she invited me to a big family lunch with people from her side and some of my dad's relatives. Then there was the time she came by asking if I wanted to go to the park with her and her kids. Her kids were standing right there, and she told them I was their big brother, and wouldn't it be so fun to play together? That one really creeped me out. It was like she was trying to script my life into some wholesome story she'd made up in her head. Every time, we told her to leave. She wouldn't leave the first time, or even the second. Eventually, my mom installed security cameras. She even consulted a lawyer and a cop she knows. Their advice was clear. Document everything. And only call the police if she was asked to leave and refused. Which is exactly what happened on Saturday.
I was home alone that day.
She came by again, this time with her kids, and asked if I wanted to spend the day with them. I told her no. She didn't budge. I told her again, more forcefully, that she needed to leave. When she still didn't, I did exactly what we'd been advised to do. I called the police. When the cops arrived, she started arguing that she was my stepmom, that she and my dad were married. I honestly don't know if that's even true, and that she had a right to be there.
The cops didn't buy it.
Her kids were getting visibly upset, crying, confused, clinging to her, and I actually felt bad for them. But she wouldn't back down, and ultimately, the cops arrested her for trespassing. It didn't end there. My dad blew up my mom's phone, furious. She had to leave work early to check on me and make sure I was okay. One of those calls, his girlfriend wife, was wailing so loudly in the background I could hear her from across the room. She kept crying, saying things like, "I just wanted to be a family, and I can't believe he did this to me and the kids." Now they're both calling me heartless, saying I'm cruel, that I humiliated a pregnant woman in front of her children, that I should have just talked to her like a decent person. But here's the thing, I tried. Over and over again. I tried to be civil. I tried to be honest. I tried to set boundaries. They weren't respected. Not once. I don't know if it's guilt or pressure or just the fact that I hate feeling like a villain, but part of me still wonders, did I take it too far? Am I the a hole for calling the cops on her?